Folks, there is nothing like the smell of an anti-choice arse kicking in the morning. It feels good. You were probably paying attention to the elections last night, mostly primary elections in various states, but some very important elections were taking place, particularly a referendum in Kansas. You see, Kansas already had enshrined in its constitution that women have the right to control their bodies. They have the right to choose what to do about that if you're a nutty forced birther who thinks 10-year-olds should, if they're raped, have to give birth to a child and destroy their bodies and minds. Well, what you do is you put a referendum on the ballot, but you sneakily try to make sure that it is voted on during the primary period, where turnout is much lower. And if you can turn out your looniest, craziest, wackiest, stupidest, most ignorant followers, you can win. That was the Republican Party's plan. They figured red Kansas, right? State Trump won by 15 points, no problem. Except they got their asses handed to them. That's right. In what should be a blueprint for the midterms for Republicans across the country, for Democrats across the country, the referendum was won by the Democratic side, not just by 5 points or 10 points or 18 points. It almost got 60% of the vote to protect the right to choose and to reject this cruel, corrupt, idiotic amendment. Props were their deserved. Democratic governor Laura Kelly came out strongly in favor and put really her career on the line. She's running for re-election as governor, a Democratic governor who's center left, certainly progressive in a very red state. And she understood the politics of this. Nobody in Washington seems to. They go to Ohio diners. Hi, I live in Ohio. I could show you a diner where not every person is a white working class stereotype with, grab my pee on their shirt and like a big trucker hat. And, I'd love Trump to take care of my children, and golden showers are wonderful. And did I say that? In any case, in most of the Midwest, not as it's portrayed by media who've never been out here. See, I grew up on the East Coast. I grew up in New York, and I lived in Washington, D.C., went to college in Philly, and I actually came and lived out here before I made bold pronunciations about what goes on here. Turns out there's blue voters and purple voters and red voters just like everywhere else. Somewhat different proportions, but not everyone's a troglodyte here, and certainly in the big cities and in the big in the suburbs these days, because Republicans have become such a just insane pile of crazy. You've seen many suburban moderates flee to the Democratic Party. That's obviously what was happening here. This was the revenge of sort of Democratic turnout and suburban moderates. Turnout was up 14% in this primary. Republicans lost by 18 points on the referendum, and Trump had won the state by 15 points. That's really the numbers you need to know. So now you look beyond Kansas. We obviously have to reelect the governor, Laura Kelly, in Kansas, but you look beyond Kansas, and you look in places like Michigan, where they nominated, what's her name, Tudor Dixon. We talked about her before. She's that fine young lady. It looks like they're almost trying to get like the evil sort of bizarro. Remember Bizarro, Superman? If you watch that kind of thing, Super Friends, early in the morning. It's fun stuff when I was a kid. Bizarro Gretchen Whitmer. They've nominated this attractive, well put together woman, at least the way she dresses, and then she's a crazy person when you talk to her. That would be where she's unlike Gretchen Whitmer, and they think that their anti-Gretchen Whitmer will beat Gretchen Whitmer. Well, in any case, Tudor Dixon is somebody who believes that she said that she thought it was a great opportunity for a 14-year-old molested by their uncle to give birth. Yeah, she doesn't believe in any exceptions. I don't think even in the case of the life of the mother, ectopic pregnancies and the rest, like she will wait to the last minute, and maybe if the mother is flatlining, then her life is of some value, even if you can't bring her back, and maybe then you would abort a baby. No, I'm sorry, let me say that again, a fetus. But Tudor Dixon thinks if you're 14 and your uncles decide to molest you, you're the perfect example, that's her quote, perfect example of someone who should be giving birth, because it won't destroy your school career, it won't destroy your career, it won't destroy your potential opportunities to find a mate, it won't destroy your body as your little young, not ready for it body is giving birth. It won't destroy you emotionally to have the child of someone who raped you, who violated you, who maybe beat you. These people are sick. But you know what? Great that Tudor Dixon is the one they nominated in Michigan, because Kansas just showed us the way. Democrats need to run on personal freedom, on privacy, on economic opportunity versus tax cut for the yacht slipper crowd, and point out that Republicans like to do things like stack the Supreme Court with right-wing loons and also overthrow our democracy with January 6th attacks. The Democrats are for democracy. The Democrats are for freedom. The Democrats are for economic opportunity. The Republicans are for fascism. The Republicans are for the handmaid tale state. They talk about they hate the big state. They want the big state literally looking into your medical decisions, peeking into your bedroom, which I'm sure Matt Gaetz would enjoy as long as you're under the age of 14. It was a good day yesterday in the way that we rejected, even in red states, the lunacy of the far right. And it's making me feel like we've got a roadmap and a great chance going forward in November. So let's embrace that. Hey guys, we've had over 2,000 new subscribers in the last 15 days, like 1,000 plus in the last 3. Please tell your friends to subscribe. You subscribe if you're watching this. Hit that button, hit the notifications, because then if you don't, you won't know when I have a new video out. If you do, you will. Comment, like, and join the community. We're growing rapidly, and I'm really enjoying this.